Welcome back. My name is Matt. This is Hidden Light, and a lot of you participated in this month's film photography challenge. The prompt was detail, whatever that means to you. And the rule is, or was, it must be shot on film. That's it. Maybe it was a little more loosey-goosey than previous months. Maybe it's just the fact that it ran for 2 months, because the first submission I have here is from December 7th, 2022. Either way, there's a lot of cool photos in here. So we're going to do your images, which were posted on our Discord in the Photo Challenges channel, from all the cool people. And then once we're done with that, we'll look at some of the images that I shot for this challenge, which has been really fun. I like detail. I played around with a couple of different techniques, with some freelensing, with macro lenses, with just regular lenses. Yeah. And I happened to shoot, I think, all of my detail for this on black and white film, which is kind of fun. So we'll just, without any further ado, we'll just dive right in here to the old Discord, where we are going to start with someone's balls. Sorry, ball turret. The film Phoenix on the B-17, taken with a 1938 3x4 Graflex, because somebody likes suffering, with Fuji Acros film in a 120 rollback. Nice. You know, one of the cool things about Fuji Acros is it is fucking sharp and really high contrast. And Discord has not done this particular image any favors. Very rude of Discord to crunch it like this. I'm sure this is very sharp. Also, I would love to be the dude hanging out in that turret just for giggles. That's freaking cool. Plans are neat. Ardent Media. Mamiya 645 Pro on Tri-X. Fuck yeah. Good texture. Looks like you got a little scratchy poo in here. Shit happens. I dig it. I like wood texture. Wood versus metal's even more metal. Or whatever. I dig it. Ceramics. 4x5. Wide open. Hell yeah. That's cool looking. I like dragons. Dragons are neat. 4x5 is neat. 4x5 wide open is even neater. Look at the background on this. Super soft and delicious. Love that. AO Kodachrome 64 from the good old days. Can't even get that shit anymore. Cool. I don't know what it is. It looks leafy. Maybe. Cool. Barber. Graflex, Speed, Graphic, T-Max 400. I'm not sure if that really counts as detail. I mean, I guess it depends on how you define detail. Is detail necessarily macro? No. That's all I got for that one. Let's see. Hasseltod. RB67, blah, blah, blah. No, this is on the Blad. Ortho Plus, which is a bitchin' high contrast film on the Hasselblad 500C from the train. So you got like modern, whatever, like clam onto this train rails, and then you've got all this vintage wood texture and these bitchin' old metal things that they don't even make anymore. And this bent ass looking pin right here. Bolt, pin, bolt. Sweet. I dig it. That would look really good in platinum. Oh dear. This is some weird shit. Arista Ortho lithographic film. Jesus. 6 ISO. Fucking nuclear annihilation. There is no highlight detail, and you don't need any. If you're into like that whole posterized look. You guys remember the posterized filter in Photoshop? Yeah, same shit. That's fun. Also painful. That's really fucking high contrast, but that's cool, man. Sam Antha. Welcome, Sam Antha. to the place. Long-time poster, first-time caller. Pentax K1000, expired Kodak Gold. Look at that. I wish I could zoom in on this. Enhance. Because the green to orange ratio is like flawless. You're starting to get a little of your expired film shit out here in the corners, but the center is gorgeous. Love this. Love it. She doesn't say what kind of lens she's using, but come on, look at that. Crushing it. That looks great. Good leaf detail. I love water droplets in all of their many forms, whether they're falling from the sky or sitting on a surface. I just love it. Sorry, I keep looking over here because there's like a picture that I'm like waiting to take. And butterflies and puppies. Easily distracted today, guys. I got to get back in the game. It's been a whole month of 2023 and I'm still like can't get my shit together. Chad Simcox series currently working on, format agnostic. These were shot 35mm HP5, print them small and mat them fucking huge. So he's talking about a 3.5x3 or a 4x5 image in an 18x18 frame, which is cool. Let's look at these. Grains. Those are beautiful grains you have there, Chad. Is that a flower? Is that many flowers? I can't figure out what that is, but it's cool. Bone. Holy shit. That's razor thin depth of field. Love that. Love the grains. HP5 doing you good. The shit. Is that like a crab or something? I can't figure out what that is, but it's cool. Reminds me of a crab or lobster or something. That's like the point of macro / detail for me. Like I want to be able to look at it and go, huh? You know, like let it draw people in a little bit. AO's back with Kodachrome 64 again. I'm gonna go with something plant-based. Question mark? Smiley face? I like the purple-green combo. That's cool. I mean, very Kodachrome, but also cool. Brandon shot this on his 4x5. Actually, Brandon, okay, so every time I see a discarded whiskey bottle of any variety on the ground now, I think of you and I photograph it. So you have created a monster. Thanks for that. It's like during COVID when I was photographing discarded masks everywhere. I'm never going to do anything with all these images, but I see a lot of like little Jim Beam bottles and like Fireball bottles everywhere because we're on the wrong side of the tracks and weird shit happens down here at night. So thank you for starting that. I now photograph all of them. Diana Oakes. This might be one of my favorites. I mean, we're only like a third of the way through the submissions, but holy shit, I love this. I want to print this big. Maybe with sprockets. Maybe without. That looks really good. I love this image. Just crushed it. And also that must have taken quite a bit of patience and suffering to create. So good for you. Like it shows you the thing and you can kind of tell what it is. And it's like the only time I've ever seen I think it's called the stylus up close. I don't know what this is called. Freaking cool. Cantilever. Needle. I want one. I'm serious, Diana. I'm gonna buy one of these from you. Call me. Let's see. Fin Photo Lab. Detail. HP5 on a Pentax Spotmatic. Dude, yeah. Leaves. Sweet leaves. I like the big gnarly texture on the trees too. Totally. Totally. You know what would make this even better is if there was like sunlight shining through right here and it was backlit. Because I like backlit trees. Lars Bunch. Buddha Hand Citron. 5x7. Chamonix 8x10, 5x7 reducing back. God damn, 550 millimeters of bellows out. Fomapan 100. Damn, dude, that's a whole lot. Every reciprocity chart I could find for Fomapan seems to want you to overexpose your negatives by 2 stops. Yeah, totally. Just punch it, man. It's fine. I'd say your reciprocity chart failure shenanigans doesn't fucking matter for this film. You probably could have just run it normal. It looks great. Platinum prints are cool. That is a funky texture. That's some Squidward shit right there. At least you got an exposure out of it. That's cool, man. Good for you. Get after it. I love that. And you can see all the notches from the film because he's a boss and he's doing it from original negatives. Crushed it. Alessandro. Grandmother's typewriter, Rolleiflex, and Ilford HP5. Cool. Typewriters are neat, like just straight up. I can't believe I didn't photograph a typewriter for this challenge. Great composition. I love all this fucking shenanigans down here. This is cool, man. That's probably about as close as you can get that Rolleiflex too. Digging it. Close up. Was obtained using this filter on both lenses. So he had to slam a filter on there in order to get close up. Cool. Necklace, Hasselblad H1 with the HC 120mm macro. Rolly RPX 25. That's punchy. Like, granted that the material itself is probably high contrast, but that turned out punchy as hell. The bokeh on this is also super weird. Like, that is not what I have seen from the Hasselblad stuff I have shot. Like, the hatched nature of some of this. Very interesting. Got your Hasselblad notches so you know it's for real. Looks like a fucking 645. Is the H1 a 645? This does not look like 6.6. I'm confused. You must have a tiny back on it for reasons. Diana Oaks again. Superior 400 FE2 50mm 1.4. Free collaborative art space in Santa Fe. That's like a freaking the thing in your eye. Iris? No. I don't know what that is, but it looks like an eye and I think it's cool. I like it. Kind of trippy. It's almost like you held like a filter in front of half the lens or something. The film Phoenix, Bronica ETRS, and Mummy Film. That's foggy. Just this one little guy sticking out in the back here. That's pretty neat. Love that. More of that. Fog is so cool. It lets you isolate things so easily. Ricoh 500ME with Kodak 5222. Oh, Jesus. There's a lot going on there. SpongeBob and fucking swords and Tapatio and Spider-Man and Jesus. Too many details. Hasseltodd. Ilford FP4. Mamiya. And a crop. Cool. If you had put some sand on this table, I would not know that it was a table. That's kind of neat. Here's the setup. Get fancy with real lights and the whole 9 yards. Love that. Up close and personal of Brenda. Same setup. You can see the light box in her eyes, man. That's cool. God, Mamiya is fucking crazy sharp. Like, you got the eye in focus, great detail, and then whoosh, straight down here you got the hairs in focus. A little bit of nose hair in focus. Don't tell her I said that. He would stop down a lot and bring more into focus. It depends on what you're into, man. Like macro, when you're shooting macro / detail, you have to stop down a lot more than you think you do in order to get that depth of field. Like The macro lens that I have for this camera is the 90 or the 105, I think. And the macro, you know, it shows you your zone focus range on that lens, but it only does it at f32, and the two dots are like a 1/4 inch apart, which means you get from like this far to this far in focus at f32 when you're really, really close, and when you're farther away, your depth of field increases. But when you're shooting macro, you got to stop down like fucking crazy. It's awesome. It's awesome. It doesn't bother me none that you've got this fall off, Todd, in this image. I think it looks good. It's cool. I wish I was on a beach with it. Doug Hochberg, Cinestill 800T, 85 1.8. Ooh, that's a good lens. This process looks like it probably hurt a lot. Are you photographing yourself here? Are you like getting tattooed on one arm and trying to do this with 85mm? That seems hard. I hope that was someone else, for your sake. That's cool. Good texture. Nifty. Not as much bloom, actually, as I would have expected from Cinestill, but it could just be that it's harder to see when it's in black and white. Kozan Leo, metro station in Hungary, shot on 500T, which is ECN2 shenanigans. That looks so cool. Green-blue shift, really mellow highlights because it's proper cinema film. Ugh. Mwah. This would look bitchin' in black and white, too. Not a requirement, but it's like, cool. Then I posted this video about freelensing, which we'll talk about here in a minute when we look at my images. Leaf, KB Canon 4x5, 20 inches of bellows. That's like 2 feet of bellows out on this fucking camera. That's crazy talk. I bet that really was fun to calculate for a reciprocity failure. It's got the needle going right through the leaf. That's cool. Cool. Detail. He's got a bunch of bellows out on this bad boy too. 4x5. That looks cool. Fucking crazy looking plants. You guys find some weird shit to photograph. This is what it looked like. Look how much, you fucking large format guys. Look how much bellows he has out on that. That's ridiculous. This is the inside of Raleigh's camera, by the way, when he's bored, sitting there with no one to talk to. Wow. Civil War reenactor on guard. 19th century 5x7. You know what the first thing that I think about this image is? I really would not want to be the guy who has to use this outhouse. But that's cool. That looks like a great kind of day to have sunglasses, which they didn't have during the Civil War. Suckers. Connor Lowe getting sassy really breaks my immersion that this is scanned. Sassafras. Jay Foster. X-ray film. Suffering. Cool rebate on it, though. Like dinosaurs and a metronome. Like you do. That's fun. Kentmere 400, Kiev 60. Nice. That's cool. Very zen. Zen garden. Oh, Jesus. This is punchy. Mamiya RB67, Triax 400. Fuck. That shit looks like it's underwater. Punchy. And a lot of good contrast. That's cool. Rolly infrared. Oh, maybe that's why these are so punchy. Rolly infrared. Oh, nope. That was Triax because I'm a moron and I just said that. This is cool. I love this. This in like platinum or something. Love that. Very fun. Leica 3? Oh, God. I'm amazed you got anything in focus. I am not man enough to use a Leica 3 of any variety. I can't hang. I can't do it. But that looks cool. Looks like some Santa Fe shit. That's cool. T-Max 400. Edge of a Vase. Kodachrome 64. Good color. I like that. It's simple. It's AO has a lot of stuff that's like a lot of color and sort of abstracted, but I like the simplicity and the negative space of this. That's cool. More dinosaurs and metronomes. Suffering. More suffering. Bro. Painful. Here we go. Slow day at work. Hangers. Wow. That's a lot of texture on that metal. That's cool. The composition is strange. Like this guy out here, I don't know what he's doing, but these two are cool. F64. Intrepid 4x5. Yeah, the Intrepid cameras, they don't let you pull out quite enough bellows to get like a real macro feel. But that's cool. A little fruit in a bowl. Bowl of fruit. Azet Landan, Rorschach. What do you see here? Damn, dude. If I didn't know it was ice, I'm not sure I would know it was ice. Pentax K1000 with Tri-X. That's crazy. Are these like... Oh, man. I didn't even photograph any ice for this. I had so much opportunity to photograph ice. Rock Lake, Wisconsin. Somebody's fucking out ice fishing. Man, I've never done that, and I would do it just to say I'd done it once. I would try. Oh, man. I'd love to see more of your ice fishing setup. David B. P3200 T-Max. A little bit of mushroom macro there. Looks like you probably could have used a little more exposure, but that's life. What else we got? What the shit? Is that inside of a pill bottle? It is. That's cool. I've definitely never seen that before in a photograph. Those are fun. I like those. Film Phoenix posts his grains. We like grains. That's fun. That is all of your submissions. I think I have about 3 minutes left and maybe 5 minutes left, and I can do a little presentation of my images here because recording limits, you know? Here is my details. Son of a... Why you gotta be all... nothing fancy here. This is on a proper macro lens. Got the plug, got lights in the background. I think it's kind of cute. Got a fan. I'm not trying too hard. I should have cropped this crap out over here, though. Rings. I like skulls. I like tobacco. Shit I like. Fuck. This one I do like quite a lot. I'm going to print this in some variety or another and see how it behaves as like raw black with just a scotia detail up here. I might remove some of these rando specular highlights and let the filament just kind of do its thing, but very fun. I'm kind of proud of that one. It's Dusty Brother, maybe a little less so. Whiskey's good. Everybody likes whiskey. I mean, I like whiskey. Books. Books are good. Yeah, I'm just like seeing what there is to see, seeing how far I can abstract something, but still make it like pretty recognizable. Umbrella in the studio. Boring. Less boring. Even less boring. Where's the freelensing stuff? Okay, so freelensing. I just want to show you what I did. I took this camera and this lens, which is a 28 to 300 lens. And I locked it at 28. I pulled it off the camera. I used my fingers to hold the aperture open. And then what I did is I held the lens up to the camera like this. And then I would focus on the thing by getting really, really close to it and just kind of back it in and out a little bit and make pictures. And these are the results of that freelensing. First, Tell me what you think that is. I'll wait. That is part of my glasses. It's this. I photographed this here, and then the next shot is this here, with a lens that I already had that's not a macro lens, that's not designed for this, that's not even attached to the camera. And look how sharp that came out. Fuck off, that's cool. Okay, like that one's not very sharp because I missed the exposure or something. I might have, who knows. But that's like pretty good. Wow. This one, okay, who can tell me what this one is? Because that shit's weird. That is the edge of my coffee mug, free-lensed, and it's probably one of my favorite shots that I have from this whole series. Maybe even from this year so far. I love it. And then this one. This is not free lens, this is proper. But that's just cool. Ripping apart a broken-ass piece of shit Harman camera that came back because somebody made it quit working. So I tore it apart and took some pictures. And I lit this with just like a little handheld LED, like flashlight looking thing that I'm just holding over it. Camera's sitting on the table. Boom. Got the gears that are like part of the bottom of the camera sitting out front. Stoked on that one. Coffee. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it was a fun challenge. I had to do the obligatory water shot too. Thank you guys for joining us and for submitting and for playing along. I love these videos. I love being able to do this and look at your work and show my work, and we all have an excuse to go shoot something together. I'm almost out of time, so we're gonna call this one quits, and we'll see you in a different video where we announce our next challenge. See you in the next one.